Okay, so hey, on the next step for this, so now that you've got everything moved over to the income statement and balance statement columns. So now we're just going to work with the income statement section for a minute. Let me just make sure I have everything on here. You're going to add up everything, add up your two columns on your income statement, and they're not going to be equal. What you're going to want to do is either on the bottom somewhere or on the side, write those totals. Don't fill those in down here on the bottom yet, because we're going to take the difference between those two columns and do our federal income tax calculation to see what our true tax is going to be. Then we're going to have to make another adjustment. So there should be about $145,000. So I'm going to add up the debit columns and the credit columns from the income statement. Let me add them up first, or add them up a couple times, and you can double check the answer before we write anything down. Sometimes I mess up the calculator, and it's easy to make mistakes. So let me add these up and check answers, because we got some big numbers here. And see, I've already I didn't finish bringing everything over. It's my fault.
Yeah. I have to finish the schedule 14.2 to 14.6.
Okay.
Then I have this done.
Yeah.
You want to just keep it?
Just keep it. Yeah, I didn't finish. It's my bad. I didn't finish over. I thought I probably stopped right here when the bell rang yesterday, so I got to bring these other amounts over too to add those in. So move over the rest of it here, then I can add those on and see what I come up with. Expenses right now. Everything down through utilities expense. Okay. Now I can add the rest of these on here. And Still not coming up right for me.
I got 714,300.
714,
284.
284, that's probably right. Denali, what'd you come up with?
714.
I've got conflicting. Yeah, this part's definitely trying to add these things up.
Which one is the, what's that one?
You got that?
No. 714,000.
Anybody else get 700? Get this number when you add up the debit column.
Can you see?
703,391. Did you guys get that? No.
It's so, I've had this stuff right here. I've had it right here.
That's good.
Is it? Because isn't this supposed to be in debit?
Oh, yep, I messed up again. That's twice I've done that. So I get in a hurry and don't pay attention. Does that look more like it?
Yeah, that's what I got.
That's what you got? Okay.
Is that what you got?
Yeah. Easy to make mistakes here. So 7,000 or 714,000. Okay, so I'm gonna write that number off to the side. Okay, so now add up the credit column and then just subtract the two. That's going to be our net income, or our gross income that we're going to do our taxes off of.
Oh, wait, it's fine.
Okay.
I got,
Now this 859,
yeah.
940, and 34 cents. So this number, our credit total, we can go ahead and write that down here on the bottom. So 859, 940, and 34 cents. But what we're going to do here is we're going to subtract this 714 from it.
I think it's 34 cents.
9 cents and 25 cents comes to 34.
I don't have my Excel sheet.
So we're going to subtract this 714, 284 from that.
What is it, 34?
So what we're going to do, 45,000. Remember, that's the difference between the total on the debit column. Didn't write anything down on here yet, and our total of the credit column. So our 145,000 right now is our gross income. So we're going to turn the sheet, and we're going to fill that number in right here on our tax end. So that goes here, 145. $655 and 94 cents. So then we're going to subtract 100,000 from that. So which leaves us 45,000, 655 and 94 cents. Did everybody make it this far so far? Okay, cool. All right, so now what we're going to do is find the tax table in the book. I think I flipped the page the wrong way. Oh, here it is. Here it is. So on page 428, we have our tax table with our tax rates. I'll try to focus this better. And we're just going to follow the same pattern from the tax table on the end of our worksheet. So you see the first $50,000 of net income is taxed at 15%. So 15% times 50,000. The book's already got it in here, 7,500. The next 25,000 is going to be taxed at 25%. So 25% times the 25,000 is 6,250. And then we've got our next 25,000. Their third tax rate, 34%. So you can see how that this keeps increasing, 34%. The book's got it already in here, 8,500. So far we've got our tax calculated on 50, 25, and 25, 100,000. That's where this 100,000 comes from, because we've already calculated the tax rate on our first $100,000 right here on the side. So that leaves us everything after that, which is left with $45,000. And you can see that fourth tax rate jumps up to 39%. So now we've got to multiply, we've got to take 39% of the 45,000. Times 39% was $17,805.82. So that amount goes in here. For our fourth tax rate. So now we're just going to add all these up, and that's going to be the total amount of income taxes that have to be paid off of the income from the income statement. So add these up. So $40,055.82. Now we've got our total tax that we've got to pay. So remember, our federal income tax expense, we didn't bring any of that over yet. And we've already got it calculated. We've already got 40,000 figured in for that. So we've got this extra $55.82. So what we're going to do is we've got our debit here. And we've got to add more to our debit, so we've got to make an adjustment. So we've got to add to that. So in our debit column under adjustments, 5582. And now we can go ahead and bring this over to our debit column on our income statement. $55.82. So, but also on our adjustments, we made a debit entry. So we've got to make a credit entry. Remember, both of these columns are going to be equal. So we're going to go back to page 1. And up here where it says on line 14 for federal income tax payable, you'll see that's whole thing so far is blank. So that's where we're going to balance our adjustment columns, and we're going to put in $55.82 here on the credit. And now we can go ahead and bring this line over to our balance sheet credit. $55.82. So going back, so we added up everything in our debit column originally without the income tax, wrote that number off up here on the side. You know, added everything up on our credit column, wrote that up here on the side too. Went ahead and filled in our credit amount because we're not going to have any more changes over here. And then took this, basically that's net before taxes. Filled in our tax table down here according to the tax table on 428. Made our adjustment for our extra $55 and went from there. So I'm going to stop there. And we still have 10 minutes left. Then tomorrow we'll finish up the balance sheet column. But if you want to, so now we've got this extra $40,000. We can add that to that 714. I guess I'm not stopping. I'm going a little bit, one more step here. So we'll add this to our 714. That should be 22 cents there, not 21. So we just go ahead and fill that amount in. They're still not equal. They will be when we're done. 754, 340. It should be 22 cents. I didn't round it up when I did the next calculation. So yeah, so go ahead and add that 40,000, 5582 to your 714 for your total for your debit on your income statement. And then there's going to be more stuff filled in down here on the bottom, and then our balance sheet total. So we'll do that tomorrow. Actually, probably tomorrow I'll have you work on that section for the on your own. And then Friday we'll do the balance statement. Get this finished up before the weekend.